Hey lovers. So good to be with you. I'm experimenting with something I used to do, but I know I haven't got it quite right because I've got a camera there and a camera there, but I'm doing my best to go live on both Instagram. Hi guys on Instagram and on Facebook over here. And over here, we're also live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, multiple Facebook pages and channels and all the things. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a little bit of a go on Instagram as well for a change. But for those of you darlings who are on Instagram, please forgive me. I'm going to be looking at this camera because it's just easier for me to focus on one. And when it comes to comments, I probably won't catch any comments on Instagram, but I will definitely, I might, we'll see how this goes. But I will definitely catch them over on Facebook. So if you are a Facebook friend of mine, come on over and find me at Facebook. And that is where we will be doing all the commenting. And if you are here on Facebook, the best way to, if you want to comment as I'm chatting with you tonight, and I hope you do, because what you bring helps me serve you better, actually, because I'm not like totally prepared for these lives and my teachings. What I teach, what comes through, what I share is very much dependent on the energy of the moment, who I feel with me, what you're saying. I'm responding to that. New things come through. It's really fun. It's kind of how we flow here. So if you are live with me on Facebook, I would love, or wherever you are, but please comment. And so that StreamYard can give you, so that I have permission to see your name when you comment, you have to give StreamYard permission. So there's a little note in the description above to tell you how to do that. You just click a link. It takes 2 seconds, like literally 2 seconds. And then it shows and reveals your name and your profile picture to me, so I know who's commenting. But it's so lovely to have you guys here. Thank you. I can see you're all starting to join. I don't think you're expecting me to go live tonight, actually, were you? And don't worry, this isn't official Lovefest business. I am introducing Lovefest tonight. There's a bunch of people who haven't registered yet who I know are going to want to register. So I'm going to explain what Lovefest is all about. For those of you who are already registered, I want you to know how to make the most of the 3 days that is Lovefest. I want to tell you a little bit of background about why I created Lovefest. I want to help you get the most value out of Lovefest. This is just a chance for me to prepare you and help you have a really amazing experience. So if you're here live, please do say hi. I would love to know who I'm chatting to. And if you're on the replay, because we'll keep this up, just type in #replay and then I'll be able to see who's caught this on catch up. But it's so lovely to be with you all. Thank you for joining. I'm not getting any comments. I can see you watching. You're like people behind the curtains. You're sort of like twitching behind the curtains, not wanting to let me know really that you're there, that you're there. I promise you, if you're going to take part in Lovefest, you will get more out of it if you communicate with me and we have some dialogue going backwards and forwards. I promise you'll get way more. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Karen's there. Hi, darling. It's so good to have you. I love feeling your presence on these lives. Really cool. Sally's here. Hello, darling. Yay, Sally. Have you done Lovefest before? This is the second time I have run Lovefest. I ran it April earlier this year. Hello, who is that? Facebook user. So whoever you are, maybe give StreamYard permission to use your name and then I'll be able to actually say hi properly to you. Yeah, we ran Lovefest in April for the first ever time. And I'm very excited to be running it again. It's a beautiful 3-day live event. And it's an event for women who you can be single or in a relationship. Your greatest desire, regardless of your relationship status, your greatest desire is to have a healthy, intimate, connected relationship. So you might be in a relationship and you want to deepen that relationship. You might be single and not know why you're single or what's going on there. And you're like, where is my person? Desperate to call them in. This is going to be relevant for both of you. And as with all of my work, the focus is always going to be on you and your relationship to you and your level of self-awareness and your self-love, your self-worth. You are always going to be the focus of attention when you come into my world. So if you're single and looking for your soulmate, the work we do is never going to be really anything about how to call in a soulmate. It's going to always be about how to call in yourself. And if you're in a relationship wanting to deepen that relationship, yeah, we'll discuss the dynamics of your relationship and what's going on. Mostly, however, the focus is going to be, well, where's your energy at? What's being reflected back to you in this relationship? What's going on for you? When you're in my world, it's a space always of deep self-inquiry. It's a space for self-awareness, self-acknowledgement. It's a space for healing what's coming up and looking to be healed, so that you can not only just have an amazing relationship with yourself, but so that you can have an amazing relationship with others. And that's, it's all relationships, isn't it? It's the relationship with your children. It's the relationship with your partner, your parents, your friends, your colleagues. Your relationship with you impacts every relationship in your life. And that's what we're focusing on at Lovefest. And I freaking love it. This is what I'm so passionate about. I'm going to tell you why in a minute, why I'm so passionate about it. Sally's saying, oh, yes, I know you're in Love Alchemy, my love. Great. You did the Soulmate Challenge. Yes. So actually, that's a great point. So let me speak to that real quick. A bunch of you are going to be here because you have done my Meet Your Soulmate Challenge. So I just want to preface, because I've had a few emails and I can't reply to everything at the minute, especially when I'm like launching an event. I do get rather inundated with private messages and emails with questions. So I'm going to do my best to answer all of the questions that I've been getting here on this live right now. And one of them is, what's the difference between the Meet Your Soulmate 5-day challenge and this Lovefest, this 3-day festival? They're incredibly different offerings. Some women have said, can I do both? And yeah, of course you can do both. Absolutely. The more the merrier. Can I do Lovefest this time if I've done it before? Yes. You're always going to go deeper. There are always new levels and layers of awarenesses, of self-awareness. There's new opportunities for healing. You will have that chance here in Lovefest. So if you did Lovefest back in April, to be here again is amazing and wonderful. You're going to hear a lot of the same content. You're going to hear me telling a lot of the same stories, and stay with it. Stay with me. The way I tell a story is going to be different every single time. The way I deliver content is different every single time. And I promise you, you are going to hear it and receive it differently every single time as well. There'll be things I've taught and shared with you previously, whether you've been to a previous Lovefest event or whether you've been to one of my 6 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenges. There'll be content and stories that you've heard before, but you were not ready to hear it. Maybe your victim archetype was like activated in that moment and you couldn't hear or receive what was being offered to you. Maybe you needed to do a certain amount of healing before you could be ready to receive the next piece of information. It's the same in my own journey. I've been on my personal growth journey for many, many, many years. I mean, if you consider that I founded the School of Self-Love, where are we, 12, 13 years ago, I've never stopped my inner journey, ever. I'm continuing on it. I'm in it, on it. I'm a student just like you right here, right now. And leading into founding the School of Self-Love, leading into, writing my book. I ought to introduce myself properly in a minute because I know there'll be people here who don't know who I am. Leading into that, I was on a profound spiritual development, personal growth, personal mastery journey that had me then trained to be a master transformational coach, to go on to write a book, yada, yada, yada. I still now do the basic fundamental work that I was doing in the very beginning, like, 15 years ago when I first started properly started my journey. It's the same work. A lot of the teachings that I'm hearing now, it's not like I never have heard it before. A lot of the books I read now, it's not like I haven't read content similar before. I I am ready at different stages and phases of my life to receive it in different ways, to hear it differently. My soul growth has evolved to a point where I'm ready for the next thing, whereas 5 years ago I wasn't ready for that, right? It's the same for you. I feel like you know this. I feel like I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Um, but just to say, to answer that question, if you've done Lovefest before, yeah, you're welcome here to do it again. If you've gone through, and I know there's women in this space here who'll be part of Lovefest who've done all 6 of my Meet Your Soulmate challenges, and they took part in Lovefest, and they've taken part in every other masterclass I've ever run, and there's still an opportunity here over the next 3 days for you to receive even more. There's an opportunity here for you to go even deeper. And when you register for Lovefest, I really do invite you to come into this space and into this experience with curiosity and fresh new eyes and an availability in yourself to receive something new, to learn something new, to get your next big aha moment. Okay? That's on you. That's your responsibility. So let me just think, actually, what other question? Right. So the other question, in fact, I had an email just before I went live this evening from someone asking, am I still going ahead with Lovefest tomorrow, even though it's a public holiday in the UK with the Queen's funeral? So do you know what? I'm just going to address the Queen and what's going on there, and the fact that it does coincide with Lovefest and my decision making around that, because I know a lot of businesses are closed today, tomorrow, perhaps Tuesday as well. And I haven't. And I just wanted to share why and how this feels for me. And then I'll dive into what you get from Lovefest, exactly how to get the most out of it, and then we'll see what else. So I, on Friday, went up to London with a very dear friend we actually went to an exhibition at the end of the day on the divine feminine, which was really interesting. Before that, we went to Green Park because we wanted to go and pay our respects to the Queen and to see the flowers and to be a part of history, to be a part of something very, very special. Now, I didn't really know what to expect. And I just wanted to share that when we went up, we went to Buckingham Palace. We stood and appreciated the palace. I've been there so many times that I always walk from Victoria into London. When I go up, I always walk past the palace. I love it. I love the vibe there. It's beautiful. It's very high vibe. It was a very different energy going there on Friday, of course, with the flag half-mast. And it was quiet. It was so calm and so quiet. And then we walked around into Green Park, and the movement of the crowd was very calm, very peaceful, just easy breezy. I've never known London to feel like that before. And we got into Green Park, and there was just this beautiful hush. And the energy in the park, there was, I don't know, thousands of people. But there seemed to be plenty of space. There was no argy-bargy, people pushing, shoving. There was none of that. There was just this it was a very well-organized event, by the way. The whole thing's been so beautifully organized, which helps this. And there was a presence in the people there. There was a deep, profound sense of respect, of love, and of peace. And it was so beautiful. I've never, ever experienced anything like it. And so we just moved amongst the people, we moved amongst the flowers, and we just absorbed and were part of the energy and had a tear and paid our respects. And it was really beautiful. And that's been my way of honoring the Queen and her passing. And what was really prevalent to me when I was in Green Park, amongst the flowers, amongst all of these people, was a sense of love. You could feel the love, it was palpable, and a sense of responsibility. This is, I mean, I feel like, and you can't make it up with the timing of things. The Queen embodied responsibility, right? Responsibility of herself, for herself, and the responsibility for others. I know it's probably a bigger conversation. For now, what I received from the time I spent paying my respects on Friday was this feeling of love and responsibility. And I really want to invite the energy of that into our Lovefest experience this week. Because responsibility is fundamental to everything that I'm about, everything that this space is about, everything that Lovefest is about. It's that deep self-responsibility piece. If you want to live a life where you, let's be honest, like you just want to feel happy, you want to feel good, you want to feel joyful, you want to feel fulfilled, that's a self-responsibility piece. If you want to have amazing relationships, that is a self-responsibility piece. It's easy to point the finger and blame and let your victim archetype activate. And we will cover all of that throughout Lovefest. And my work in the world is to always pull you back. And I do this for myself on a daily basis, I promise you, to pull back into self-responsibility. Like if that's going on outside of me, what does that say about where I'm at, what my energy is vibrating, what I'm available for? Life is always happening for you, not to you. And self-responsibility is the most self-loving act. My invitation to you always is going to be love yourself enough to take responsibility for your mindset, for your emotional state, for your physical state, and for your spiritual connection. That's on you. And Lovefest is all about inviting you to remember your personal responsibility for that so that you can have amazing relationships. And I really want to invite that energy of responsibility and love into Lovefest this week. And I feel like that's the energy that is around us at the moment. And I think we are very lucky to be at a point in history where we can be reminded of that, and that we can have our little 3-day event happening, which the playbook I'm going to be sending you day by day. If you register for Lovefest, you'll get the playbook. It's fantastic. It's beautifully designed, and it will take you really deep into your own self-inquiry and help you go next level, clear out the next layer. You know, if you can commit to doing that work over the next 3 days and harness this energy that is palpable at the minute, the energy of love and the energy of responsibility, I think that would be a really beautiful way to honor her life. I really, really do. And, you know, tonight at 8 p.m., so in like an hour and a half, there will be a minute silence for the Queen, which I will be participating in. And tomorrow her funeral will run, I think it starts at sort of the procession starts about 11:45, no, 11:45, I think, with the service running from 11 to 12. It will be complete by 12 tomorrow. So if you are honoring the funeral of the Queen tomorrow, then take your time to do that tomorrow. Absolutely take your time to do that. And when you're ready, dive deep into day one's playbook when you're ready. And I will be going live at 7 o'clock tomorrow night to begin to answer your questions and teach my first masterclass, which is entitled What You Don't Own Owns You. That's tomorrow night's first masterclass at 7 o'clock. You'll have had the whole afternoon, especially those of you in the UK, you have a bank holiday, you're not even having to work tomorrow. How about honoring what you need to honor tomorrow? You have the time and space to do that. If that includes honoring the Queen, that's beautiful. You've got a lot of beautiful time and space for that. And you have beautiful time and space for you too, right? And then we'll carry on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's my position. I know a few people have questioned and challenged, are you working on Monday? It's a bank holiday. Yes, I am. And I have paid my respects, and I will continue to in my own way. And I trust you're an intelligent, beautiful woman. You'll figure out your own way as well. So that kind of leads me to the process of each day. So 6 o'clock every morning, if you are registered for Lovefest, you will receive the daily playbook. There'll be a different theme each day. I invite you when it feels good for you. Maybe tomorrow, some of you will start on your playbook and open up a little bit later in the day. Certainly on Tuesday and Wednesday, I invite you to open that playbook first thing in the morning and dive straight in and start answering those questions. The playbooks are designed with your own self-inquiry at the heart of it. So there's really powerful lines of questioning in each playbook that will help you get to a place of really understanding why you think and feel the way you do, why you're having the results in life that you are, why you feel and have the results you do in relationship. You're really going to start to understand yourself even more. And awareness is the first step to change. And so that is really my biggest focus of attention for you in Lovefest. What's that? Lovefest. Yeah, awareness is the first step to change. I want to help you to create tons of awareness over these 3 days together. So at 6 o'clock every morning, you're going to get your playbook. At 10 a.m. every day on my personal Facebook page, I'm going to put a little announcement saying you can ask me your questions. It'll say, ask me anything at 10 a.m. every day. So 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Wednesday. Ask me your questions. When I go live in the evening at 7 p.m., this is all UK London time, 7 p.m., I will go live. I will answer your questions. I will teach the masterclass of the day as well. So if you've been working through your playbook that day, you can add questions to the Ask Me Anything post. I'm going to do my best to answer everybody's questions. And you can come on the live as well and continue to take part, and I'll answer your questions there also. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Lovefest, that's it. You get a playbook every day. I teach a masterclass every night, and I can answer your questions. Easy peasy. Everything is also recorded. So if you are registered, you will get a link to a catch-up page. So if you miss anything, you can watch it back in your own time. Easy peasy. If you don't want to participate tomorrow, fine. You can catch up on Tuesday. Okay, you got all the time in the world. It's all good. Coming to the lives in the evening, you're definitely going to get more juice out of it. It'll be great if I can actually help you with your questions. Something I'm wondering right now, those of you who are here live, and if you're on the replay, just do #replay. Can you just let me know, are you, just in the comments, are you single or are you in a relationship? It'll be fun just to get a bit of a feel. I'll probably ask this again tomorrow night, but it'd be fun to get a bit of a feel for what your relationship status is. I would love to know. And I'm just going to have a little look at my notes to see what I want to tell you about. What do I need to tell you? Yeah, I mean, when we're, Danielle, thank you for letting me know. Danielle, single, cool. You're going to love Lovefest, Danielle. So glad to have you here. Fee's here. Hi, honey. She's single. Yeah. So glad to have you here as well. We're going to dive even deeper. So there's a bunch of women here already, I know, who have been working with me, who are in my Love Alchemy program right now. Oh, it's Lorraine. Hi, darling. Still single, and that's okay. That's okay. Sally's here. Hi, honey. Single. Yes. Okay. It will predominantly be single women, I think, participating in Lovefest. And I know there'll be women in relationship as well, but you're all welcome. You're all welcome. Can you share with me now, what's your intention for Lovefest? I may well ask this again tomorrow night. Well, what's your intention for this 3-day event? It's really important that you're intentional. Oh, Beth's here. She's single again. I need to reply your email. I'm so sorry, Beth. It's been a little busy over here. Divine timing, Beth. Divine timing. Yeah. So what's your intention for Lovefest? That's what I would love to know. What do you want to get out of it? So my intention for Lovefest. So I went to the gym earlier today, well, this afternoon, and I was sat in the steam room and the sauna, and I was just feeling into what Lovefest was about for me this time round. It doesn't really change. My intention for Lovefest is to inspire you to have your own back. I feel like my whole purpose on this planet is to inspire women into self-mastery, into personal mastery, into, as I was saying before, taking personal responsibility for where they're at in their life, why they feel the way they do, why they're having the experiences that they're having. Emotional responsibility and emotional mastery, mental mastery, physical mastery, a spiritual mastery. Like, I want women to have that. I know that when you have that, your relationships benefit. You have stronger relationships. You have more intimate, more connected, more honest and fulfilling relationships. But you don't get to have relationships like that unless you have that with yourself first. Sally's saying, my intention is to keep looking into myself, to learn to love me, accept me, to become a better version of myself. That's really beautiful. Looking into myself to learn to love me. Yeah, that's just beautiful. And you're in the right place, of course, Sally. Beth is saying, my intention is to reconnect with authentic me and to empower myself after a stressful summer of a breakup and too much work. That's beautiful. And it is a space to course correct. And it is a space to reconnect with yourself and your authentic self. And that is what I'm so passionate about. And the reason I'm so passionate about that is because this is what it's when I didn't have a healthy, masterful relationship with myself that I hit my rock bottom. And it was my rock bottom that had me go on to the personal development, the spiritual awakening journey that I went on that led me into doing this work, to writing The Self-Love Affair, to teaching and coaching in the way that I now do. I'll come back to that in a second. Let me just see what Lorraine has to say. To be more self-reliant and happy in my own skin, happier in myself, and self-awareness to see what blocks me and what helps inspire me. Beautiful. Self-reliant and happy in my own skin, happier in myself, and self-awareness to see what blocks me. Darling heart, you are in the darling heart. I wasn't really referring to your surname then, but darling heart, you are in the right place, and it will be my honor to support and guide you over the next few days. Yes to that. Oh, Sarah's here. Hi, darling. Good to see you. It was my own rock bottom moment that led me to doing this work. And I just want to share quickly that, let me just tap into that moment and that story, because it's really profound and I think relatable. And some of you have heard this story before, but let's see if you'll hear it a little bit differently tonight. I remember, so the rock bottom moment that I'm alluding to, but what I'm tapping into right now is the moment when I realized that I was behaving and feeling and heading down a track in my life that was identical to my mum on the day that she committed suicide. I was 22 when that happened for my mum. And when I was, I mean, how old was I? I must have been about 36. That sounds about right. I was 36. And I had just broken up with my boyfriend, and my son was about 3, maybe 2.5, 3. And he was at nursery. And I had to find somewhere else to live. I had to find a job because I was employed by my boyfriend. We were breaking up, so therefore I was no longer employed by the boyfriend. I didn't have a car. I didn't have any savings in the bank. I didn't have a plan. I had to come up with a plan. I had to find us somewhere to live. I had to start earning some money again from somewhere. And that all felt absolutely impossible because I was on the floor with anxiety and depression. Like I was on the floor with panic attacks. And when I say on the floor, like physically, I was on the floor. I couldn't breathe. When my panic attacks hit and when my anxiety attacks hit, it would floor me. I'd have to sit down to try and catch my breath. And actually, that panic, that anxiety was how I started every day. I would wake up and for a moment, everything seemed okay. And then boom, the panic would hit. And boom, I would feel that black hole in my stomach of just this emptiness and this dread and this sense of I have no idea who I am or how I'm going to get through the day. Like that's where I was at that time. And I was in that place because I didn't have emotional mastery and I didn't know how to, and it was never modeled to me. I didn't have mastery over my mind and my thinking. I didn't know that I was feeling my thinking. I didn't know. I didn't know that the reason why another relationship had just failed for me was because I only knew how to have codependent relationships. I didn't know that I was addicted to drama in relationship. I didn't know that that's the only way I knew how to get connection and intimacy with somebody was to either be their caretaker or to be co-creating drama with them. Like, I didn't know that's what was going on for me. This is why I was saying earlier, awareness is the first step to change. I had no self-awareness. All I knew was I was in pain. I was suffering. My relationships always failed. And I was a victim. That's all I knew. And on this day in that bedroom, I was in pieces. I couldn't stop crying. I didn't know how to get out of bed that day. I was taking Valium, hoping the world would go away. It was a very scary moment. I don't recognize that woman now. I look back and I'm like, who was she? I don't recognize her. But bless her, she was me, and she was me before I knew who I was. I will never forget the moment when I realized that I was behaving and operating in the world the way that my mum had. And I didn't know then, but I came to know after my own self-inquiry and healing journey, which continues, that I learned a way of relating to myself based on what was modeled to me. And I ended up in relationships that reflected back to me what was modeled to me. So the relationships I was in, the relationship with my son's dad was full of codependency, like I said, full of drama. There was narcissism. It was seriously unhealthy. But of course, I was going to end up in those relationships. It was all I knew. It was what was modeled. weirdly, kind of grossly, it's what was comfortable and felt safe to me, because familiarity feels safe. It doesn't mean that it's good for us. I was being invited that day to discover who I was and to step into a whole brand new space of self-mastery, of mastering my mind, mastering my emotions, mastering my body, and having a spiritual connection so that I could have a great relationship with me and then go on to have healthy relationships. I still find it very upsetting, and yet it's very motivating for me to do the work that I do in the world, to realize that two of the most important people in my life died. And I'm talking about my son's father, who was, one of the loves of my life, and my mum. They both died without emotional mastery. The gift of that, the gift of mental mastery, the gift of knowing who they were and loving who they were. They died in a space of self-sabotage. They died soul-destroyed. They died not being able to experience a deeply connected, intimate, honest, fulfilling relationship. And that's so sad to me. It's so sad, and I was heading in that direction so fast. And I still have to work at it every day. My own emotional mastery, my own mental mastery, my own personal mastery. It is my daily work. I am committed to it. I am committed to overcoming my humanness. I am committed to overcoming my conditioning and programming. I am committed to moving from a state of fear to love every single day, every moment of every day. I have the tools, I have the awareness, I also have the expertise to guide myself through that every single day. I am not available to ever go back to that space, to where that woman was, me, that woman all those years ago on that floor, having panic attacks, didn't know who she was, didn't know how to relate to other people in a healthy way and have healthy relationships. I am unavailable to, it's actually an impossibility to go backwards. And I'm committed to my constant evolution and expansion. And that is what I'm passionate about for other women. I want you to always be evolving and growing. I want you to be deepening your relationship with yourself every single day. And that's what Lovefest is all about, is helping you to reconnect to you every single day so that you can have amazing, beautiful relationships. I feel like my work in the world hasn't actually only been a huge part of me saving my own life, and it is that serious. My work in the world is also about honoring the people who have been my greatest teachers and the biggest gifts, and thank God for them and their sacrifice. If I don't do this work, I am not honoring them and having it be worth something by helping thousands of other women to change their life and to be who they came here to be. That's what I've been put on this planet to do. And I do not take the responsibility lightly. I am so committed to the work. Those of you in my world, like, can you give me some thumbs up or something? Because I think you know how committed I am to this work, how committed I am to myself, and how committed I am to you. I intend for you to create change over the next 3 days. I intend for you to deepen your relationship with yourself. I intend for you to become more masterful in your relationship with yourself. I intend for you to have amazing relationships as a result, because you freaking well deserve it. And I know the pain of not having a great relationship with yourself and having that reflected back to you in your dysfunctional, sabotaging relationships with others. There is nothing worse. It's hard enough not being able to relate to you. but to have it reflected back to you. I've never felt so lonely as when I was in those sabotaged, destructive relationships. I've never felt less than valuable. I, I had no self-worth. I was like, what the hell is the point? But the irony here is, and I know my mum experienced this, I know my son's father experienced this, and I just have so much love for them both. The irony is what they learned and what I learned too, which is I learned it from my mum and I ended up in a relationship that reflected it back to me. What they learned was the only way they could get their sense of self, their sense of love in the world, significance in the world, worthiness. The only way they could get that was through a relationship. That relationship would make them whole, would make them okay. But the awful irony is that it was their inability to know how to have a healthy relationship and their energetic availability only for unhealthy relationships meant that the only thing that they knew that would be their vehicle to getting the self-worth, the significance, the love through that relationship was being sabotaged. Do you know what I mean? So the thing that they were going after to feel okay in the world was the thing that was having them not feel okay in the world. But they're in this circle, this loop, this never ending Groundhog Day, this cycle of I'm not enough, you're reflecting I'm not enough, I'm going to try harder to get your love, and so it goes on and on and on, and it's exhausting. My work in the world is that no matter what is going on around you, you've got your own back. Life is always going to throw you curveballs. Always. You have to have you, and your self-responsibility is to bring the best version of you into your relationships. That's on you, and you can do it. And I know your little victim archetype will pop up and go, oh, it's another thing I got to do on my own. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Investing in you, being there for you and having your own back is an investment that you will reap rewards from again and again and again and again until the end of time. And everybody that you touch, everybody that comes into your world, every relationship you have on all the different levels will benefit as a result. And that ripple effect is immense. Immense. That's why I want you to give it your all over the next 3 days. Come to Lovefest with an open heart and an open mind. Come with the spirit of a beginner student, as if you've never learned anything before, as if you've never done any personal growth work before. And whether you are a beginner or whether you've been on your transformational journey for a decade, for 2 decades, please come with a curious mind and open heart and be available to receive something new, because it is there for you. And I'm so excited for you. When you get the playbook each day, dive in. Don't just look at it and go, oh, they're great questions. Oh, isn't it beautiful? Oh, what a lovely design. I'll get to that. You won't. Get on it. You've got 3 days, only 3 days. Get on it. Dive into those playbooks. Prioritize it. Love yourself enough to take that level of self-responsibility. Get onto my personal Facebook page, which is where the Ask Me Anything post is going to go up at 10 o'clock every day, and ask me your questions. Make the most of that access. I will do my best to answer your questions. Get supported, be in community. I promise you, the women that are going to come into this space are super awesome. Get on the lives at night. Love yourself enough to take part participate, be in the energy of the thing. Make the most of it. It is only 3 days. And for those of you in the UK, you got a public holiday tomorrow. So you're probably going to take some time to be respectful and in that space with, we've got, history is being made tomorrow and the Queen is to be honored. And you've got more time in the day to prioritize you as well. Let her responsibility, she stood for that responsibility. Let that energy guide you over the next 3 days. I'm just going to go back to the comments because I was asking what your intentions were and I didn't finish reading them. Fiona saying, need to get clear what my intention is, but it will be around deepening the connection with myself. Perfect. Perfect. Karen saying, my intention is to continue to love myself more and continue to build on my self-confidence and step into my power and be the best I can be. Woohoo. Yes. I love that. Yes. Oh, lovely. Katie, you're awe-inspiring and so very supportive of our journey. It comes with love. Truly amazing. Thank you, Sally. Yeah, it really does. It really does. So I feel like I've given you all the information I wanted to give you today. I am going to just pull a card because it's what I do when I launch any event. So let's just pull a Kuan Yin. So this is the card deck that I love. It's my favorite. It's my Wild Kuan Yin Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Can you see that? Those of you on Instagram, there it is. Sorry, those of you on Instagram. I know I'm not actually chatting to the camera up there. I'm on the Facebook camera down here. But I hope you're still receiving. Pleasure, Lauren. Pleasure, darling. Good to have you. All right, let me just do a reading. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Let me just tap in. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Blue Mother, Yellow Mountain, Gibbous Moon. Oh, I've got that horrible light. You can't see it very easily. There we go. You got that? Beautiful cards, aren't they? So beautiful. Okay, let me read this. Okay, here we go. I reveal the path of grace on sacred earth. Echo of ancient prayers sound forth from the holy mountain. The moon shall soon be full and darkness filled with light. Victory shall be upon you, and the hope that I ignite in your heart shall swiftly become the joy of our celebration. Be serene, be peaceful, whilst the power of heaven and earth become the celestial horses driving the chariot of your soul to its divine destiny. So we have a guidance, and then we have a reading, and then there's a healing process. So I'll do the guidance first. The gibbous moon is the time just before fullness. It's only a matter of time before the light of the sun shall reach its zenith in reflection upon the earth, bringing the fullest extent of solar light into the night sky. The sun is an ancient symbol for the soul, and the maximum illumination of the soul in the night speaks of the penetration of the soul to the fullest extent into darkness. It speaks of the ultimate triumph of the true path of your absolute destiny and soul success. The Holy Mother's blue robes wrap around the soul now held within her protection. Whatever attachment has been getting in the way of your actual soul success and authentic fulfillment will be subject to her intervention. Not only are you offered protection, but the possibility, even if you're in the midst of great change, to feel a deep sense of peace and trust within. You will know that whatever is taking place is actually helping you achieve what will bring the most profound joy. even if on the surface things seem to be moving in unexpected or unwanted directions. Any pain should be transformed into a blessing beyond even your wildest imaginings. There's nothing to fear or resist here, only great blessings to receive. So in the reading, it says, are you holding on to something that you feel is being pulled away from you? Do not fear. When you let go, something even more wonderful shall be discovered. Trust in the goodness of life nurturing you. You're going through a process of being spiritually cleansed of fear and control. You will be able to blossom into the fullness of your being with curiosity and openness. Don't be scared by perceptions of disappointment or failure. They're just signs that the mind needs to let go of control and trust more unconditionally in the goodness of life. This will bring you greater joy than you had thought possible. If there's been sickness or prolonged emotional suffering, mental despair, or any struggle that has tested your powers of endurance and faith, this testing time is drawing rapidly to a close, and light will soon be pouring in. Put your faith in the light and know the darkness is over. Have you lost faith in people? Your trust in goodwill is going to be restored. You're asked to trust in the goodness of life and leave the rest to the divine. I love that. The peak time for action is now. Jump on the opportunities that are there for you. Take action that feels inspired by the heart. Do what you need to do. Now is the time when your every action will be in alignment with a wave of energy reaching its crescendo. You can use that like a surfer catching a wave to move toward the sacred shoreline. Oh, I love that. And actually, that's sort of what I'm feeling around the timing of this aligning with the grieving of the Queen and her actual funeral being tomorrow, day one of Lovefest. It's I feel like it's okay and allowed to ride the wave of the love that's there, to even ride the wave of, for those of you that are feeling the grief and feeling the loss and feeling the profound change in the world as a result of her death. Our hearts are softened right now. There's a vulnerability there. And I really feel that we are being invited to ride the wave of that and use that to allow ourselves to connect more deeply with ourselves. Like use the energy of what's going on at the minute and just this collective energy in the world. I really feel it myself. Like use the energy of that to, and the softening of your heart there, like use that to help move you forward. That's okay. It's allowed. That's how I feel. All right, so there's a healing process. And shall we do that? Yeah, let's do that. So there's a prayer. I'm going to read the prayer. And if you would like to just listen to the words of the prayer, maybe repeat the words in your own mind. When I pray, I usually will put a hand on my heart and one on my womb. And here goes. Divine Mother of grace and wisdom, in all your manifestations of unconditional love, I call upon you. Bless me with hope, with grace, with success. I choose to unplug from circuits of diminishment and plug into circuits of expansive grace. I offer this prayer to all of humanity, and I give gratitude for the unimpeded flow of grace into my life as I do so. I celebrate the return of the light, and I give thanks for the blessing of darkness that now has me so ready to embrace the light, and so be it. And you can sit with your hands at your heart and repeating the following mantra as many times as feels good and helps you feel a sense of love in your heart. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. And you place your hands in prayer when you've finished, and you can rest for a moment, and then you've finished your healing process. What a beautiful, beautiful card. Blue Mother, Yellow Mountain, Gibbous Moon. I wonder if that speaks to any of you today. That's really lovely. I really feel that. So, my darlings, I can't wait to hang out with you this week in Lovefest. The only thing I think I probably not shared is the themes for each day, but that's in the description above. But just so you know, tomorrow, day one of Lovefest, the theme is know yourself. So you're going to discover that what you don't own owns you. And it's like one of my favorite topics. I can't wait to dive deeper into that. You will learn a powerful framework for healing your past to build self-worth, which is crucial for a healthy relationship. So that's what tomorrow is all about. Day two, love yourself is the theme. Discover what it is that is specifically sabotaging your relationships. You need to know this. This is really important information, right? What's specifically sabotaging your relationships, and learn a healing strategy that's key to your self-confidence and a powerful relationship. Really, really good stuff. And on Wednesday, the theme is create yourself. So you're going to discover where your energy is out of alignment and learn how to achieve a magnetic flow state to build self-trust and an empowered relationship. So good, so juicy, so much awareness coming your way. Now, very, very finally, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then we're going to wrap up. I am running a competition. Probably should have said this earlier. I'm running a competition. I have never, ever done this before. So I've got a little Instagram competition running with members of my Love Lounge at the moment. And ladies, I will be announcing that winner tomorrow morning to you guys. But starting tomorrow morning, I am going to run a little Instagram competition just for those of you who are registered for Lovefest. I'm going to share what you're invited to do if you'd like to take part. And the first thing you're going to want to know is whoever wins the competition. So the winner of the competition will receive a private 1 hour one-to-one coaching call with me, which is worth £450. Pretty valuable, right? So there'll be a little bit of prep work for you that I will be briefed on before we meet on, and we're going to have a whole hour together. Really, really valuable. So whatever comes up for you during Lovefest, we can actually privately dive deep on that, and I can support you with that. So I'm very, very excited to see who this woman is going to be. How does it work? Well, basically, let me find my notes. Okay. So you need to be following me on Instagram, which is at Katie Phillips with Love. So you have to be following Katie Phillips with Love. You're going to want to share in your stories or on your posts, but it's Instagram only. So it's not on Facebook, Instagram only. Share your experience of Lovefest, and you can do that in any way that feels good for you. You might want to take some screenshots of the lives in the evening. You might want to share something that you've learned, take some photos of the playbooks, share new awarenesses you're having, maybe talk about light bulb moments you're having. You probably, this is what I think would be so fun to do. So during the lives each night, a lot's going to get channeled through. I'm going to be teaching a lot. I'm going to be answering your questions. And I'm expecting that multiple times on the live call, you're going to write down something like a takeaway that you're really excited about. You're going to probably pop it on a post-it note and pop it somewhere in your office or in your bedroom. You're going to write affirmations that you just, you really want to live by. You're going to write down mantras. Like there's going to be things that I say, things that come through on the lives each night. You're like, I want to remember that. That's really powerful. That's going to be really game-changing for me. I want you on the lives, if you can remember to type the affirmation into the comments, or say, Katie, can you please, because what I'm going to do is create every day, I'm going to create some posts based on your ahas and your awarenesses. So if you realize an amazing new affirmation or an amazing new mantra that you would like to have designed as a little meme and that you can share to inspire your own community, we will do that for you. All you have to do is when you're listening to the live, just type in the affirmation or the mantra or the awareness that you want to hold on to, that you want to remember, that you want to share with your people. We'll create a little meme out of it and we'll share it on our Instagram at Katie Phillips with Love. And then you can share it on. And when you share it on, and however you share during this Instagram challenge, like if you screenshot this here, or if you share the workings in your playbook, or whatever it is that you want to share, as long as you tag me, as long as you tag Katie Phillips with love, you'll then get a point. So every time you share something, you get a point, and essentially the woman with the most points at the end wins, and that person gets the private coaching call with me. So I'm really excited to see how this works, if this works. We've never done it like this before. It'll be really fun to see what you share. I will, for example, I'll do a little screenshot of today's card, and you might want to just share the cards in your Instagram stories. The most important thing is that you tag at Katie Phillips with love. Yeah. And you might want to share, I'm doing Lovefest. You should come along. The more the merrier. So yay, let me know in the comments who's going to take part. That would be good to know. Who is going to take part in the Instagram challenge? All right, my darlings, I think, I'm just having a quick look at my notes. I think that's everything I wanted to share with you. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Hey ho. The most important thing is that you are registered for Lovefest. If you're registered, you'll get the Facebook Messenger updates. You'll get text messages reminding you when I'm about to go live. You'll get the playbook emailed to you. You'll get the catch-up page link. So if you miss anything live, it's really easy to just go straight to a recording. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you. And yeah, I hope as many of you as possible take part in the Instagram challenge, because it'd be really fun to see, like, yeah, the awarenesses and the ahas and the light bulb moments you're having, because you're going to have them. And it'd be really fun to see you sharing those with your people, your community, and inspiring others, right? We've got to be the love we want to see in the world, and we need to be that light. All right, my darlings, time for me to go and have my dinner. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to get started tomorrow morning. All right, darlings. Mwah. Love you loads. Have a lovely, lovely evening. See you later. Bye.